Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to F123 League Racing here on the channel with PSGL Austria. And yeah, without further ado, let's get ourselves straight into the thick of our first run of qualifying, starting the lap off now. And yeah, Austria turn 1 lives rent-free in absolutely everybody's head, so we, you know, fashionably don't quite make the apex as well as you want to do. But yeah, heading now towards the start of Sector 2, and yeah, this was a quali where we thought going into it, well, as long as you're somewhat near the front, you should be alright, given how crazy the races typically end up being around this track, as we get DRS open and head towards down to turn 4. And yeah, we were just trying to, you know, try and get ourselves a nice banker on the board, see if we can make it through Q1 with just the, maybe just a single run. But as you can see ahead of us, we actually have a car on the racing line. Blind. Didn't move out of the way. Oh my god. Oh, and before you even say it, I am more than aware I could have went to the left. That is something I very much acknowledged. However, this is a game of hindsight as much as it is anything else. There's no bad hate with Danny at all in that incident as well. He apologised straight after the incident, and there's literally, you know, no problem with any of that stuff. But yeah, I definitely could have done more to avoid it, but I definitely didn't expect the car to stay where it did. But that is all aside now. We are starting P19 and we are straight into this race. So let's put quali behind us. It was a bit of a mess, but we are off, trying to go for the outside line now. A little bit of bumper cars actually with Dylan Warren, just trying to find our way through all of this. Danny Beresnes for some reason is an AI on the left hand side. We're going alongside Marcel Kiefer on the inside. We're using a bit of EOS. We opt for the inside line, so we try and break a bit deep here, but we get all slowed down, but we just get completely pinned to the apex, and then we just get bogged down on the exit. Bit of wheel spin for good measure, and it's not been a great opening sequence because of yeah, just choosing the inside line and ultimately it not being the right decision. Johnny Tomlin going in deep on the outside line, so we're going to get the move hopefully done on him. A bit more energy deployed as multiple cars are off the track, and it is an absolute carnage around us, and a safety car has been deployed. This Austria race has already kicked into gear, and yeah, we're up to P15, so we are net net 4 positions, sorry, up going into this safety car period. So yeah, it was a little bit of a shame as we wanted to try and carry that momentum forward, but here we are now on the safety car restart, and yeah, the pin is pulled and we are now off and away in chase of Dylan Warren. Battery at 100%, and yeah, let's get stuck in. DRS obviously not immediately enabled after the restart, so we're going to have to make the move without it heading into turn 1. Such an easy corner to oversend. Very cautious actually from us there, actually too cautious. Denoso having some issues there. But yeah, we're going to use quite a bit of energy closing in on Dylan Warren, so we're going to go up the inside, not way too over aggressive on the braking, and now we are side by side with Dylan Warren, having to use much more energy than we would have liked at this point in the race. So not ideal, but any stretch of the imagination. Cars ahead going side by side as we go to 1 by 1, sorry, to 2 by 2, sorry. No, I've got that completely wrong. Just side by side, Lucas. Jeez, I can't commentate. And thankfully past Dylan Warren. Way more energy than we would have liked to have obviously used. But as you can see now on the left hand side, you can see there are a bunch of cars on medium tyres who actually pitted under that safety car. And the problem for us is because we were so far back in the train, we got hit by these medium runners when their tyres were at their best. So we were in the worst spot in the train to get hit by all these medium runners, and as you can see there, we lost the rear and lost 1 position to Danny Beresnes, which it was going to probably happen anyway with the mediums, but we certainly, yeah, didn't need to make his life as easy as we did, so that was a bit silly from me. Going side by side now with Nicholas Longy. Nice and clean battle so far. Yeah, just trying to hang on for dear life as Nico glued to the back of us. I'm just trying not to waste the energy, but you're somewhat like kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You just got to use it sometimes, as we do defend the position here on lap 8. I mean, lap 8 and already so much has happened, and we've got 36 laps in this race, skipping on to the end of lap 8, and as you can see, we had no rear end in this DRS train. That was certainly a weakness of our car in the race. We just kept having yeah, major issues with the rear end, which was quite frustrating, but nonetheless we just had to live with it, and it was actually alright as the race somewhat progressed. But yeah, Nico now going for the inside. We opt not to over defend it, as yeah, we would have absolutely no battery left if we did. And yeah, this was just it was like a piranha pit where we just we kept sinking and sinking and sinking because of where we were on the train. It's not like we were near the front where we didn't have these medium runners coming at us. It was a tricky spot to be in, and it really halted progress because we never got the advantage on lap 1 where we chose the inside line instead of the outside into turn 3 in lap 1. But now here we are, lap 18, and Wilson and I working together to try and make the best of something. We were both going to try something pretty aggressive on the strategy. Because at the end of the day, for me anyway, there was literally nothing to lose in this race. There was just no point to do something like traditional. We thought, well, this is a good opportunity for us to try and maybe do something different. And you can see we've completely drained our battery to try and slingshot into the DRS. The DRS gaps of the cars that are boxing ahead of us, as we want to go long in this race. We want to go long and try and give ourselves a tyre advantage and basically pray for massive chaos. And in theory, there's a good chance it works around this type of track, but you just have to wait and see. Things still have to go your way. But certainly we just wanted to roll the dice and do something different. It maybe, certainly maybe with hindsight, an undercut could have been the better play. But I still don't regret giving this all a go. So here we are now, closing in on Simon Vaigang, who will be boxing at the end of this lap and giving us a nice little dosage of DRS onto the main straight, helping myself and Wilson sling along. It's always such a scary pit entry with the cars going slow on that penultimate corner's apex. But nonetheless, here we are, lap 20, and Wilson's actually having to use a good bit of energy here, so he goes for the move because Luke Smith attacking on the way in, and actually we somehow coordinate a good move where Wilson gets me and I get him back without any of us losing position, so that worked out quite well. But here we are on lap 21 now, and Wilson is going to be boxing at the end of this lap, so he decides to make the overtake now. Luke Smith now on the attack at us, but we defend the move nicely up the inside, and we hold the position quite well, so pretty well managed as we head now in the DRS of Wilson, who's going to be boxing, and we are going to be boxing at the end of next lap. Now, we were going to lose a lot of time in terms of undercut. We were going to get passed by a lot of people by doing this, but the concept that we wanted was we just wanted the best tyres in the event of chaos unfolding. I'm not really interested in coming lower half of the top 10, and when you start where we are in those races, I'm trying to find ways to get myself as far forward as possible, especially in these league races where there's no there's not F1 esports. There's no risks attached to many of these things, so these are great opportunities for us to try something different. Sticking on the medium tyres now, and yeah, now it is our time to try and fly in this race, but we don't have anywhere near as much energy as we would have liked. But rejoining the track now, we have Luke Smith and Brendan Lee jumping ahead of us now, which is a net 2 positions down, but as you can see, they are already fighting ahead, so yeah, we might have lost the position, but ultimately we have the tyres, hopefully, if we can get ourselves in the mix later in the race. But it's still going to take a few things to go in our favour to make all of this work, as Brendan Lee and Luke Smith fighting up ahead of us. And for us in this race, we were basically taking maximum risk. There was very little reason for us to be conservative, so we were just going to go for the big moves, take a lot of risk and put it all on the line and see if it works, even if it doesn't. So yeah, heading on to lap 24 now. Luke Smith flashing with the US, Brendan Lee on the inside. We brake really late, and actually way too late, as we tag the back of Brendan Lee. Now thankfully that didn't actually cause any different outcome there, because that was really on the limit by us. Definitely didn't expect the cars ahead to brake as early as they did. However, it is the job, technically speaking, of the car behind to not do that. So don't do what I did, guys watching at home. Do not try and replicate what I just done. Thankfully I got away with it. But yeah, as I said, I was pushing the limits, and here we are now, trying to make an opportunity, going side by side with Brendan Lee, and we're going to hang it right round the outside. Can we hold on? We are literally on the limit. We get an unfair warning, which would get removed if we so wanted to get it removed, and then another warning with good measure. Literally nothing we can do about that, because we picked up a penalty because of it. But yeah, that's the way it goes, side by side, really on the limit racing. But here we are on lap 27, sending it from like 40 metres back, getting up the inside, making use of Brendan having to brake early in the train, and getting the move done up the inside, which was, yeah, unexpected, but thankfully quite a good move, making the best of the opportunity. So yeah, big risk, that's for sure. But what have we got to lose? So yeah, on to lap 29 now. We have Danny Beresny ahead of us, and we're going to have a little look up the inside, but we do not opt to go for it. And Danny Beresny actually goes in quite deep on Wilson Hughes, and so we get the better run, and both of them are going to go up the inside. DRS open, but we just don't have any top speed, because we have absolutely no battery from how much we've had to fight in this race. And now we're going to try and go around the outside of Danny Beresny. We get on the marbles, which is one of the most infuriating things on this game later in the race. Just losing the grip. Have a little look up the inside and thankfully get away with that one. But yeah, we were just in a deficit with the energy, which made life very hard to overtake. Our engine was also overheated, but we send it up the inside of Danny Beresny, not braking way too late. And now we are side by side. Nice, clean racing so far. And now we get the DRS and the slipstream. Oh, this is and we just get completely out-dragged, because we just do not have that battery. Danny Beresny finally flashes. We go for the outside, but Danny Beresny just blocks us on the inside. And that's it. Like, we're just trying to get past, but just not having any top end to really pull us through. And yeah, trying everything to get past. Here we are on lap 32 now, and we are looking up the inside once again, going for the moves in this race, taking the risk, but again, just not able to generate the opportunity, and opting not to use the energy this time as Danny was flashing ahead. So we're going to try and maybe save slightly more, just to give ourselves a slightly better chance for the future attempts. But now on lap 34, it is all or nothing now. The train has now joined up, so we really want to go for moves. We go for the inside, but so does Danny Beresny. We give him a pretty decent nudge up the back. Thankfully, again, didn't cause any outcome to change there. So I got quite lucky, I won't lie, that we got away with that one. But here we are now, Luke Smith going up the inside. We brake as late as possible, but Luke Smith goes up the inside, and we have to go straight into Danny Beresny, and that is our race. Signed and done. And we're watching it back in slow motion now. I broke as physically late as was possible to make the corner by going up the inside of Danny, but I have no option here with Luke on my inside to not just go straight. I just had to brake as hard as possible and go straight. It doesn't look great from my POV either, but ultimately, what am I going to do? Drive into Luke? It was a guaranteed accident when Luke decided to make that move, unfortunately.
There was so much more in that.
Because I broke as late as possible, and he broke even later. So, yeah. And I did apologise to Danny for that, but ultimately, Danny wasn't too upset with me in that incident, as there wasn't really much else I could have done when you have a car sending it up the inside. But that's it. A bit of a non-event for us. First time that we've not had a decent result on this game, I think, actually. Aside from maybe when we had to start at the back in Hungary, which wasn't really a race. But yeah, it happens. We had a few good overtakes, a few good moves, but ultimately this race or qualifying literally just didn't go our way one bit. But that's racing. It can't go well every time. You know, you got to take risks. Things are going to go wrong, but ultimately that's how you learn and, you know, build on experiences. You know, that it happened. Everyone has a good day and a bad day. So yeah, that's the way it goes, and I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Sorry this video wasn't as maybe as long as you guys are maybe used to. But nonetheless, thank you so much for the support, and please, down in the comments, don't be toxic towards any of the drivers involved in incidents in this video. Ultimately, we are all out there racing, and we're giving it everything, and we're not here to... I'm not here to promote a platform of toxicity, so please be respectful in the comments. Whether it's to me, or whether it's to Beresny or Smith, please just keep it chill, guys, because, yeah, it can get a bit wild out there on the internet. But take care, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Like, subscribe, and comment what you thought down below, as long as it's respectful. And no, all good. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support recently. It has been genuinely awesome to see on YouTube. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. I love you guys, and I hope you're all happy and well. Love yous all.